I think... I think we're back up. If I did things right, we should be back up. Hello, chat. Can you hear me? I think... Let me let chat know I'm alive. Okay, I think I fixed it. I think we're good now. Hello, hello. Hi, Magnus. You can see me? Good. All that matters to me. But yeah, OBS had a bit of a fit, and then my entire computer did. I was like, oh, that's bad. And then I was like, okay, well, let me look at some settings. And I realized what it was. I remember seeing something on Twitter a few days ago of someone saying, I remembered seeing a post about OBS running on someone's CPU instead of GPU, and I went into my settings to find out that the GPU setting, that mine was deprecated, basically deprecated, and I had to refix it. Anyway, we're back. I was like, Benny's to blame for OBS crashing. Why are you blaming? Listen, leave. It's Benny. I'm not surprised. Anyway, what do y'all think of the little setup of me down here? Do you like it? Benny literally said they're tinkering with the wires. Of course they are, because it's fucking Benny. Why am I not surprised? Like, it feels like a game show. What feels like? Oh, is that a good thing or a bad thing? You like it? That's good. Yeah, I was like debating doing this and like instead of like the normal overlay. But my only worry is like it does still kind of cover information. I like my other way because at least like with Minecraft stuff I can like make it to the side where like there's less chance of info getting covered. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm messaging folks on the interwebs to let them know. Hi, my stuff crashed. Oh yeah, for those of you who weren't here earlier, you'll see it's basically just, oh, I want to do something like a nice little... Why is the music so loud, bro? I can't hear myself. There you go. Anyways, I was saying, I just wanted to do some updates to just a few tweaks for winter. I thought this would be a fun one. Especially because, like, I want to try this out. The current, like, setup you see with my model, I've been wanting to try this out. I like my little horns. I have voice chat in this game. Do they have shaders? Or am I just tripping? I'm on a beach. Oh, I hate that I see that sunken boat from here. Oh, I hate that, bro. Oh, I hate that. I got a plush box. We need wood. We need wood. Hold down. Oh yeah, holding down the left button. This shit's taking forever. What the fuck? Bitch. Stupid trees. They can break grass. No, we're gonna go find a place that isn't a jungle biome. Since it wants to be stupid and not let me get what I want. Anyway. Just running along the coast. Looking for a biome. That's not... Wait, hold on. Ooh, there's lava right there. I need to be careful. You are an azalea tree. You're a funny tree. Okay. Oh. Oh god, what the fuck? Oh, there we go. We got sticks. That's all I cared about. I just want sticks. Let me just replant that tree. Yeah, open my inventory. Dude, why are these jungle trees taking so long to break? I swear, trees normally don't take this long to break. It's okay, I got it though. Now, we'll go find our tree. Might be because of how tall they are. I might be going off the height, which would make sense. Yes, this is modded Minecraft. Mod pack, which is the one Caffeinate is running, is called Cozy Comfy Plus. I need to find where all the others are in game. I'm guessing they have a system in place. Or somewhere that they're hanging out. Also, I should get food. Melon. Hi, Commodore. How long you plan on streaming? Probably a few hours. If I had to guess, probably 10 hours. Like, not 10, what the hell? Probably like 3 more hours. Like, I try to do 3 hours total, but sometimes I go over that. At least 3 more hours. I've been struggling so much to, like, sleep. Like, chat, I don't know what is wrong with my body. It's, like, not letting me sleep before 12. So I'm only getting, like, 4 hours of sleep a night, and I'm like, eh. Okay, you be safe. Oh. Oh, maybe jumping in this water was not a good idea. Wait, hold on, that looks... Wait, what is that? Oh, that looks cool. What's up there? Oh, we need to find out. We got... Help. This is a huge... It's like an... This is a giant portal. Mood though, I'm actually awake enough to catch a stream. Yay! Melatonin has done wonders for me during my rotating shifts, by the way. See, I've tried melatonin, and it's weird because melatonin doesn't make me sleepy. But if I fall asleep with melatonin in my system, I sleep, like, deeper than usual. Does that make sense? What was that sound, bro? I'm gonna try to get up in there, because that looks like there's stuff in there, and I want to go in there. I might need to start taking magnesium again. Magnesium did wonders on helping me sleep. See, my other plan was just getting stupid high. You know, melatonin, same brain cell, get out of my head. Okay. I was about to say we need to figure out a way up there, but I saw this free water elevator. Oh god, oh. Doesn't work as well as I thought it would. We need to figure out a way up there. Because I need wood. There's wood up there. I want wood. Yeah, I gotta be clean for my future job. That's fair. There's so much room in here. Are you telling... Bruh! What are you, a fed? There's a cat in my room again. Chat, the cat has broken into my room. I repeat, the cat has broken into my room. Hi, Vivian. Hello, Vivian. Hi, Vivian. I know what you're in here for. Wait, did it not give me the block? Fuck. Fine. We just need to build a ladder. A ladder. A path up. The room's been compromised. Activate DEFCON cat. I don't think this cat... Oh, let me find out. Come here, Vivi. Here, talk to your fans. What do you mean no? Talk to them. I just realized that the noise suppression makes it hard for you to hear her unless I'm holding her And I talk because as it's picking up my voice, if she starts talking, it's gonna, why are you not talking? Why are you not talking? You were being so noisy earlier. You were being so noisy earlier, weren't you? Hmm? Yeah. Here, you can lay in my lap. Does that make you happy? Yeah? Did you get butt scratches? That's a cat so needy. Yeah, I'm calling you needy, Zimmy. Not Zimmy, Vivian. Because all the other cats, when I'm streaming, they don't bother me. But you do. Because you are a brat. In all sense of the word. Wait, what? Now I can get planks. Compromise, you say? What do you mean compromise? Do I look compromised? I am not compromised. I am egg. Oh gosh, she's kneading into my thigh. Oh no. Oh no, she's kneading into my thigh, chat. Okay. So plan is make a crafting table. Now we need to make a pickaxe. Can only, which means I need more. There we go. Okay. She has fled my lap. I'm safe for now. Now we're gonna make this one for 2 reasons. Wood. Or not wood. Stone. The other reason is, wood. Oh, wait, there's actually stairs leading out of here? Bruh. Oh my god. This is making me want to crash out slightly. Oh, so hi, Aether, how are you? Okay, so now that we have that, I need to get more planks so I can make sticks. Which means I can make the other tools I need. Oh, I got a raid! Hello, hello, hello! Hello. This is what Commodore meant, isn't it? Hi, my name is Egg. I'm a chaotic VTuber who likes to play horror and indie video games. Today we are playing some modded Minecraft because who doesn't love themselves a little bit of modded Minecraft? In my friend's comfy cozy server. Else extra compromise. God damn. Can't believe you brought the feds here. It's insane. But I hope your stream went well. How'd it go? How goes it? Oh. Okay, so now we have materials. All that matters to me. I'm EP, understandable. Did the ATM server die? No, it should still be active. Why? Is it not on right now? Go check it. It's like 7:30 a.m. and I'm finally going to bed. Well, hey, at least you're gonna get that fat nap, huh? Did Perry tell you the question I sent them earlier? Wait, I don't know if Perry has seen it yet. Oh god, they're gonna be so confused when they do see it. They just called in sick. Aw. Hope they'll be alright. No, they didn't. They might not have. Do you want to know what I messaged them? It's really goofy. There we go. I might make a platform right here because this, we could clean this up. This could be nice. We can cook here, chat. Boop. You're about so I gotta read around. I'll be more familiar today for update though if you want to hang some. I work later today, but I appreciate the offer. I gotta. Maybe my mission this time will be Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew! Maybe my mission this time in this server will be to... Oh my fucking god. Get off me. Get off me. I'm sure I'll have a lovely stream. Especially now that I got your viewers here and I can take care of them. I can say hi to them.
Smell like bitches.
Bruh. Stored egg. Wait, what? Oh. Oh, I understand now. Never say I'm smart, Chad. Their buddies in there. I say hi to them. I don't see any buddies. Yeah, this could make a nice... Could make a nice underground little area. Like, you're seeing what I'm seeing, right? How about this? I'm gonna start carving this part out. Probably move some of these. There we go. We're gonna start working on this. Because I'm having a vision. I wasn't feeling very well yesterday. I'm feeling a lot better now though. Fuck the sun. Okay. I like my little thing right here. This is nice. I'm right by the ocean. I can fish. Pretty nice. Peak. Even. I just gotta figure out, like, how do I want to make this area look? Definitely want this copper. We also need to make a furnace, which means we need coal. Or we can make charcoal, and with that huge-ass forest by us, oh, that'd be easy. Oh, that'd be easy. Piece of cake. I don't know why I'm saying it like I'm Kronk. I feel like this was... You all saw that too, right? Like, am I crazy or did you see something like... Go back, like... Hello? Chat, or am I crazy or did you see that? I'm starting to think these mines that I want to revamp might be haunted. Ow. I injured myself. I hurt myself. Yeah, so my plan is... We're gonna make it look nice. We're gonna make this nice. We're gonna open up this ceiling a little bit more. Make it more... um... open. I don't know if that makes sense. You'll see, I'm cooking, okay? You can trust me to cook. First we need to make... I remember how to make a furnace, I swear. We're gonna make 2 of them. I know what you're thinking. Why are we making 2 of them, Egg? Just trust me, okay? Now, what we're gonna do... Probably shouldn't have one of these near this. Or this. Or this. Green slug. Wait, no, I'm not gonna tell you. Also gonna have to extend this where it's actually like obviously somewhere that someone is living. You can talk, I swear. Oop. Let's go cut down some trees. Thankfully, there's a lot. We're right by a giant biome full of trees. There it goes. Bye, Mr. Tree. What is that? Jungle pod? Get me up here, you son of a bitch. Oh, it's raining. Oh, there is a tree right here. There we go. Oh. How much wood did I get out of that? I got a decent amount. I need to cut more trees. I need to make a stack of charcoal. Remember when I used to be a massive deforester, Chad? Good morning, dead man. How are you? Oop. Oh. This is how I find out that falling trees can and will fuck me up if I'm not careful. That means I can kill people with them. I'm very excited for Christmas. I'm just excited to spend time with people. I have Christmas off, so I was thinking we just I'd do a little Christmas hangout. A Christmas hangout. Chat. Okay, here we are. We're back in my house. Now, put you there. I need to get coal. Do I not have... I thought I grabbed coal. Go look for some. Yeah, I was just thinking of doing like Like, just a small little get-together with Chad. That reminds me, Chad. If you want, I put some things on my throne. I try to go for, like, things that are really, really cheap and easy to get. So, if y'all want to give me gifts, you don't have to, but if you want to, there are gifts there. You can also, give me random gifts. So, like, if you don't like something on there, you want to give me something else, it is set to do that. Please don't make me regret turning that on. I need to get coal, but there's nowhere easy to get it. I'll use this jungle log to burn the other jungle log. It's genius. I'm genius. Doesn't mean I'm gonna have to go cut more trees though. That's fine. I can do that. My dumbass didn't see the coal that was right here, Chad. Let it be known I am not a smart egg. There's a big vein of coal. I'm glad I went for that. So, Chad, what do you think we should add down here in our fun little underground creation that we're making? While those cook, I'm gonna go get more wood. To make stairs. Goodies. I want more. Casually just deforesting this entire fucking jungle. I don't even know if I can. That's a lot of jungle. That might be hard. God, I'm hungry. More wood. Give me your wood, tree. Excuse me. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, boop. There you go. I like how the rain sounds when you're like in a cave area. The muffled sound. I like it a lot. I think it's cool. I think it's neat. Alright, I'll be right back. I am hungry, so I'm gonna go make myself something to eat real quick. Sorry, Vivi, I didn't mean to spook you. Hey, chat. I have food cooking. I was also gonna go pee, but someone else was in the bathroom. Op in the chat. Op. What? You're my op? Is that what you're saying? Hello, hello. I stepped away to go make food because I got hungry. Dude, I'm working at 60 this week. And I know. It's gonna be like, why am I here? But the money will be worth it, and I know that. I keep telling myself that. That's how you stay locked in. Morning, Gage. How are you, Gage? How'd you sleep? Let me get up there somehow. Oop. Let me up here. Yes, I made it up here. Okay, now we need to start cutting trees. It's super cold this morning, still very EP. Yeah, it's like 43 degrees where I am. Oh, I don't mind what I have right now at Summit. It makes me happy. Comfy. I like it. Today is one of those examples. We actually annihilated that tree. I'm just out here just committing mass deforestation. You know, no big deal. Prima. Primus. Do you like my little antlers? I can pull your sled for you. Yeah, I got little antlers. I got mistletoe on my neck. Or 9 degrees here, so I feel you. Yeah, it's 43 here. And I hate it because I started Shark Week, so my body's like, any cold makes me cramp, and I'm like, bruh. There. How does it feel to be here for 5 streams in a row? I want to do some... Question, would y'all want me to do anything special for the stream streaks? Because I know it's a lot of y'all popping off of yours. That'd be cool. Alright, I will cook something. I broke my last axe. That's okay, we can make more. Look at how much we already cleared, bro. Need to sneak down here. Oh, there's iron right there. Hold on, I want that. We should make like a path up here. That should be my main goal. I don't really need to. I can just... It's kind of easy to figure out where to go to get back home. I say as I immediately forget where the entrance is. The entrance right here. See, I totally knew where it was. It goes a full tremble due to cold. Aww. You take care of yourself, okay, hon? Now we need to make another one. If you want, Gage, you can hang out with me and call. Come on. I know how to climb trees, I swear. I swear it. That knob out of here. There we go. Vec!
Smell like bitches.
Why are you sniffing me? The Warframe update is today. Yeah, I was like stuck between playing this or the Warframe update. But since I was feeling sick, I was like, I don't want to play when I'm sick. So I'm gonna do it tomorrow. This is Caffeinate's Minecraft server. It's not ours. I need to go check on ours, because... Illuminatium, are you still there? Have you been having issues with my server? Update hasn't dropped just yet. Maybe it's good thing I wasn't gonna stream it this morning, because imagine me coming home being like, guys, we're gonna play the update, and it's. Did something just fucking die? Am I crazy? Y'all heard that too, right? I might be gaslighting myself. Okay. You have what that I want. Hand it over. Chat, I want you to know right now, if you ever have me in your Minecraft server, I am the builder. I will lock the fuck in. Also, I saw something over here and I want to see what it is. Pumpkins! Okay, we have an empty spot right here. Actually, you know what? Let's go on an adventure. Let's go adventuring a little. Okay, there's the birch. So the jungle isn't fully... What the fuck? Hello? The fuck? Where did you come from? Why is there two of you? Can I milk you? What's in the ground underneath you? Yellow Pikmin sprout? I just plucked him out of the ground. I'm keeping him. Because this area's open. It's a nice area. Ooh, what's that? Wait, what's that? The building. What the fuck? Hi? Hello? Is this someone's house? Or is this like a random structure? How do I get in? Oh! Loot box! Okay, take this. Oh god. Take this. Bottle of enchanting. Kind of fucked up. A bag of soybean. We've got a lot of goodies. Is there any more over here? Yeah, we could say we're cooking. I should probably head back though. Ow. Oh, what the? Huh? What is this? Where am I? Why is there blocks of experience? I'll have to come check that out later. Can't venture too far, because we want to make sure we're able to get back home. Is that another fucking house? No, that's a birch tree. I may have ventured a little too far. Okay, though. I remember I was along the coastline, so we just need to go to the coastline and go to where that, like where we can see that gate in the water. That'll be our guide. Wait, hold on. Something's on the map, and it caught my attention, and I want to see what it is. Oh, it's just a macaw. Hello, guy. Okay. So we need to look for the gate. Oh, there's that bamboo. I think it's over here, actually. See, I was thinking back in my head, I should leave those bamboo stalks alone in case I need to find my way back home, and it looks like my plan may have worked. Never mind, I don't know where the fuck I am. At least there's iron here. Iron's important. So we'll collect iron while we're making our way back home. We just need to keep an eye on the water. Wait, no. Wait, no, I think we are near my house. Maybe? No. I think that's a different one. Am I crazy? Yeah, I think that's a different one. I think we need to go along this. I think we just need to go along this path. The road's along like a really steep path. Go towards outside your tunnel's entrance. I should have. I didn't think to do that. That was my bad. That was my L. You know, it's fine, because look. I can just collect iron while I'm running around here in hopes that I see home. It's gonna be hard. Like, thankfully I made it near some landmarks. I'm not good at directions in Minecraft, chat. This is what you're learning right now. What's that? What are you? You're lava. I remember you. Okay. That I might be lost. I'm not even gonna lie to you. You know what? While we're out here, I'm gonna collect some shit I need. Can you TP back to your house? No, I cannot. Wait. Hold on, you gave me an idea. I think I have enough wood to make another crafting table real quick. And then I can make a boat. And then I can use the boat to go along the edge of the island. And then I can use that to, or island of the area. And use that to find my house. See, I know what I'm doing. I swear. I'm a pro Minecraft player. The first thing we're gonna do is... Wait, I fucked that up entirely. Make crafting table. Put crafting table down. Make a boat. How do I make boats again? Make a boat. Genius. Just in case we need that. Ow. I'm on a boat. We're gonna be on a boat. Ow. Wait, it might actually be that over there. That it's getting really steep over here, so that might actually be it. I might have just made the boat for no reason. Hold on. Wait, hold on. I want that. Yeah, see? I totally knew where I was. I totally knew where I was. See, chat? I wasn't lost. I knew where I was all along. The wind blowing wasn't ominous at all. I'm not gonna lie, that was some pretty fucking ominous wind. I just made a fuck ton of torches on accident. It's okay. What the fuck is that in the water? What the fuck are you? Why are you so big? I don't like that. Now, because I want to see better, I'm gonna light it up in here. I want this. There you go. Yeah, what's your favorite thing to do in Minecraft? I want to know. I made so many fucking... Okay, we can cook. So, I want to make stairs that come down in here. So, we're going to do that with these. Because I think wood would look the best. What we're going to do... Take my shitty wooden pickaxe so I can get rid of it. Disinfecting players as they enter in the game. Well, you haven't done that to me lately. What about me? I believe you're forgetting to do that to me. I know, I'm just being a brat. I think you'd like this one because it's peaceful. At least I have been peaceful right now. Because, they have a friend getting into it. We should fill this hole up. I'll do that later. Son of a bitch. We will have to fix that ceiling. That ceiling's way too low. There we go. Now let's back this ceiling up a little bit. This is awesome. How dare you give me? Why did I fall for that? Literal clown behavior coming from your local egg. Hi, Angie. How are you? Right in front of my soup, no less. Listen, I never said I was a smart egg. Y'all don't follow me because I'm smart. You follow me because I say funny things. But I'm silly. Okay, we're cooking. Cooking. We are cooking. So my goal is... I'm doing well. I am a little sick. I'm not feeling the best. But I'm getting there. I got stuck in my chair, so I had to, like, fix myself. You're also sick? I'm so sorry. I hope your sickness goes away fast. Everyone on my job's been getting sick. And I'm like, eh. I remember last year, I was, like, sick as a dog. up until like New Year's Day, and for some reason on New Year's Day, I randomly got better really fast and was able to celebrate, or not New Year's Day, New Year's Eve, and I was able to celebrate New Year's. And then immediately after that, take a guess what happened. I got sick. Like, the sickness came back full force. It was almost like my sickness took a break to celebrate the new year, and it immediately came back afterwards. It was wild. Okay. So we got like a little path going on. Hope we get better, drinking lots of water and water and vitamin C. That helps. Yep, I got emergency. I swear by it. I love emergency so much. And right now I'm drinking some vitamin water. I know it's funny because when I was younger, I never really liked vitamin water. And for some reason, as I got older, it's grown on me. Hi, Mana. How are you doing? Okay, so I want to revamp this whole like mine area because I think it would look cool if we like brought it to life. You know what I mean, Chad? And it wouldn't be hard either. Like we can cook here. All I gotta do is get rid of this block and then replace these with stairs. You just woke up. Did you sleep well? I did not place the blocks the way I wanted to. That was my bad. Thank you for joining the egg and you get a free bat. You're now armed. Oop. Oh, bruh. Okay, I should probably light it up down here. Boop, 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 boop. Wait, is that... Oh, Chad, we made... Oh, Chad, we struck gold. Oh, Chad, we struck gold. Oh, Chad, we struck gold. Do you see that down there? We struck gold! This is like the perfect place for me to start. Like... Hello? Oh, I'm having the time of my life. It's funny because I literally only came over here because I was like, oh, hey. This place looks like it'd be kind of neat. Might be kind of fun. And now look at me. Okay, I'm gonna need this so I can actually, like, place these. I'll remove it later. There we go. See, that's what I was trying to do. I think so my brain is not functioning quite yet. That's fair. I was telling Chad about how I've been struggling to sleep. Because for some reason, I don't know why. Chat, I don't know why my body's like this. It does not want to go to bed until it's like 12 p.m. And I'm like, why? I'm like, we have to get up at 4. Like, we need sleep. Why are you doing this? And my body's response is just hee hee. No rhyme, no reason, just hee hee. Now, we got a nice little path right here. My plan is to line this part. If we can get enough copper, I'd love to line it with copper, but I don't think we're gonna get a lot of copper anytime soon. Wait, there was copper down there. Could get it. I'm thinking.
Creeper.
No, what the fuck?
Oh man.
Why did that get me? Why did that jump? I got jump scared. By creeper, oh man. Why did that jump scare me? It's supposed to be a chill stream. Why did that jump scare me? POV, your local egg is easy to spook, apparently. Okay, there you go. Why was I trying to break it open with a torch? Why is the asshole in the same way I have to work at 4 a.m. 5 days a week? Oh yeah, I gotta work at 60 this week. Which, hey, I like money. So I'm not gonna complain. But also, like, I'm sick. And I'm like, eh. Oh yeah, so some friends of mine are doing a Secret Santa at work that I entered in. And I got, like, okay, so there's like one person in the group I don't know very well, and I got them, and I was like, what the, why did the one person in the group that I do not know very well, why is that my Secret Santa? But then they let me swap because they were like, yeah, that's not super fair to you. Why is...
Smell like bitches.
You smell like a... Why is lurk bait not working? Did lurk bait break again? Oh my god, it broke again. I love when stuff... it's okay, it happens. She doesn't favor you? Well, no, okay, here's the thing. I either have cracked RNG, where, like, my RNG is insane. I can fix a fish. I can fix a fish. Or my RNG just, like comically beats me up. Like, there's no in between. And I don't know why. But I think it's funny. Also, Gage, you like my reindeer horns? There you go. Now it should work. Body shutter. Go ahead and try to see if it works now. RNG only works in games when I'm playing solo, apparently. And yes, I love them. I'm glad you love them. I still remember when we were helping someone out. And we're like, yeah, let's go run a relic run with you. First drop had what they wanted. Or the first round of relics, gold. The exact gold they needed. That was really funny. Your return work is done. I hope... Did you get a bong? Hand that over. I know you don't smoke, but I do. Ooh. Oh. What do you like most about Minecraft? I think what I like most about Minecraft, if I had to, like, really think about it, I think I just like the community aspect of Minecraft. And I don't just mean, oh, I like the fandom. I mean, like, I like that when you play with friends, like, you naturally try to stick together and make, like, little communes and stuff. And especially when you're playing modded Minecraft, like, there's something I like about the fact that this game encourages people to work together and build a community together, and that's what I love the most about it. Yeah, when we got your Lavos Prime blueprint, I was trying to remember that. I get to have the funny water vase, thank you. Okay, I think my food's done, and I need to go see if the restroom's open, because I need to go pee, so I'll be back, I promise. Give me like 2 minutes. Hi, chat. I'm back with my food. Have y'all been fishing this entire time? Oh my god, you have been fishing. I'm still trying to get a hold of the Caliban Prime systems. It didn't even drop when I ran a squad. I was using full radiant. Actually, C13 rocks. Okay, am I crazy, or is it every time you get? Am I crazy, or is it every time that you get any sort um of relic radiate, like, and you get like all the way to the max? You always get like the copper one for some reason. Like you always get like the most common one, even when you shove void energy into it for it to not do that. Make your inventory still full. Don't worry about it, Miles. I could probably bring this part down. So, hmm. Wait, I caught an actual fish? The game favored you today. I have to go get that block. Here, go, got it. I want to get this stuff here anyway. Usually if you have full squad running, they're like rating ranks have a higher chance of getting the higher tier parts, but feels so lately RNG for everyone's ass. I don't mind burning relics. I'm someone who likes to grind, so I don't mind, because I get ducats. Isn't Borrow coming this week? I think Borrow's this week. I'd really like to have a PC to play Java. I only have Bedrock. I I started on, I think, like, Bedrock, basically. I played on the PlayStation. Like, PlayStation 3. And then when I got a PC, I started playing on the computer. But I didn't get to play it a lot because my laptop way back when wasn't, like, the best. And my friends all wanted to play, like, modded Minecraft. I was like, guys, my computer, I can't run this. Help. I do like that Bedrock has some stuff Java doesn't have, though. See, I want more Prime mods, because I like Prime mods. Okay. Let me... You guys are 4 terabit SSD? What are you gonna put on it? What are you gonna use it for? Doggle, what is this emote, bro? Games? What kind of games? I wanna know. Gotta update me. We need more copper. Oh yeah, I was supposed to make a supposed to make a pickaxe and I forgot. $38 till new update. Make a copper pick. You won't. I don't. Can I? Can I make a copper? Wait, am I crazy? Can I make a copper pick? Wait, hold on. Holy shit, I can. Huh. Interesting. Hold on, let me put Pikmin somewhere so I can like make space. Pikmin, you're gonna guard the entrance. Let no one in. Here, let me make you. Yeah, there you go. Hehe. Funny pickaxe. Wait, this is kind of cooking. This axe is kind of cooking. We need to go get more copper. I want more copper. Wait, I have more copper. Magnus, what the fuck? Mods, pin of shame him. Okay, here's the thing. Here's the thing, Umber. I like the weathered look of the copper. I love that look. The joke's on you. I wanted to weather. Why are we tickling people? Don't tickle people's feet in my chat. What am I doing? There you go. One more. I want to make some solid stone. So we're gonna go this way. I'm a wax weathered cut copper stairs fan. These ones? I can see it. They kind of have a nice texture on them. I want to lick them. No, stop. What? No, do not suck anyone off. What? What? Chat. What the fuck? Why do I have to rang you motherfuckers in every 5 seconds? I love you, but like, what the fuck? See, Chad, this is why I can never do, like... This is why I can never, like, do a thing of like, oh, hey, my chat plays this game. I don't trust y'all like that. Bro, your boss, wait, what did my boss say? Start digging in your butt, twin. I love my stupid ass bot. I love this stupid thing. I don't think you can craft. There's only like I don't think you can fit in my inventory. I don't think there's enough space. We need to like bring this down. We need to bring this whole fucking thing down. I'll make it fit is insane. Just shoved in a locker, nerd. I bet you like that. Next question. I'm sure your inventory can take it is insane. Is this how you riz a loot goblin? I'm gonna have to go down there and get that. Yes. You know what? I can see it. Has a vibe of cramming in your butt. It's insane. Anyway, just stopping by. I have my last test in an hour. You will ace this test. I believe in you. Lock the fuck in. I know you can. I need to lock in. I need to lock in more. Magnus, no! Stop! Bro. I try to wish someone well wishes, and your immediate response is burst of raw them. The fuck? Here, I'll there. I got something out of that. And y'all wonder why I say I can't trust you. Points at that. Bro, I took the practice test just now and got an 80. I'm cooked. You just lock in. Just lock in. Just lock the fuck in! You got this, I believe in you. I need to clear all this out. I know I'm gonna start crashing out. Wait, no, sword. I need an A in the class. That's fair. I don't have room for my immovable rod, so I'm cramming into your inventory instead. Can you cram it down my Oh, the Windstar sounds interesting as hell today. Call your dick immovable rod? I need more copper. I almost kicked the shit out of the cat. Because I felt her under me. And my brain thought it was an intruder. Ah, fuck. Wait, I can use this. Hold on. Hey! Boop. Easy. You can ignore the rest of that up there. No one cares about that part. Vivi, why do you keep randomly touching my leg and scaring me? Casual suffocating gravel pit hanging in the air above you. It's okay. I'm built different. I'm a bad bitch. It can't kill me. See, look. Okay, give me a second. I need to grab this cat. Vivian. 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 Vivi. 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 Why do you keep biting my legs so I won't give you attention, There's like 4 other people in this house right now that can give you attention. You're not even my cat, and yet you, like, are in love with me. Why are you in love with me? Why are you in love with me? Why are you in love with me? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Why are you in love with me? Okay, I'm putting her back on the ground. My roommate's cat's obsessed with me, Chad. I mean, here's the thing. I normally don't mind petting her. Like, I think she's adorable, and I love petting her. But it's like, but like, right now, when I'm streaming, cat though. Thank you for the head pats. Also, everyone at work's been really nice today. Dude, let me tell you what I got, alright? What my coworkers gave me. I got a whole box of chocolate chip cookies from Subway, because, one of my coworkers got cookies, but they apparently don't like chocolate chip cookies, they like a different cookie. So they gave it to me. And then another coworker was like, hey, I got Burger King. And I got buy one, get one free on the chicken finger fries. You want them? So I got that. And then they were using one of our training rooms for a meeting. And they brought Domino's, and they said I could have... And they brought Domino's and Bosa donuts. So I got a donut, and I got, like, 2 slices of pizza. Today was a good day. It was nice, because, like, I didn't have time to, like, make the stuff I normally put in my lunch, because I usually make, like, a peanut butter sandwich and stuff for, like, protein. I didn't have a chance to make that. And so... Like... Having... So all the things I had in my bag was mainly, like, snacks. Like, that wasn't gonna fill me up. So having, like, things that could fill me up was nice. Raccoon core lunch. Fun fact, I was gonna be a raccoon VTuber. Reason I never went for it was because I didn't, like, want to get accused of, like, being, snuffy. Or trying to be snuffy. Raccoon egg would have gone hard. I want Domino's. I hope it was tasty. It was tasty. It was from one of the Domino's joints that, like, the pizza doesn't set off my allergy. So I can actually enjoy it. I'm gonna make this part up just a little bit more open. And then... We're gonna come over here. We're gonna grab this. Make this into blocks. Make these blocks. That. Make these. Or add a raccoon tail for Halloween outfit or something. I could. I think it'd be cute. Maybe that'll be a future idea, because I could just be a little creature. So I'm trying to make, like, a nice, easy path to get through. Over here. I do wanna, cover this up. I started to Demon Shapes and this does feel right. Now I'm here as a Kitsune, and that does feel right. I do like my current design. I feel like it's me. I just, like, I like the idea of switching it up. Like, I like these little horns right now. I think they look cute on me. I was gonna do something and I can't remember. Something was gonna happen here. Finally woke up early enough to catch one of your streams. Well, good morning, Alistair. How'd you sleep? Anything funny happen in your dreams? Random update, but I just started my HRT a few months back. Hell yeah, I hope it's treating you well. I hope it's going well for you. We love those W's. There you go. This can be like a nice pathway up. Hey, what's down here? Oh, it's just water. Oh, this is the path I made to get in here. Forgot about that. Let me put the light here so it's like kind of easy to see where the entrance is in case I fall in the water again. Let me see, developing breasts is cool, but fuck, I hate how set to zero makes my active job. Oh yeah, definitely. Make, I didn't, it's, there was something I was gonna say and I can't remember, never mind. I was gonna say something, and it left my brain. I'm so sorry. I got some biotin recently, so I'm gonna start adding it to my morning routine so I can see if it'll help with hair growth. I've been debating, like, adding biotin back into my my rotation of vitamins. I've been debating it. Trying to get Gaia Prime. I need to get so many fucking primes, dude. I'm so behind in Warframe. That's see chat. The main reason I've been playing Warframe with y'all is because I'm behind as hell in it, and I'm using y'all to get myself through it. That sounds bad when I say it out loud like that. Okay, so I want this to be like a way to come up and then circle back this way. We will need to fill this part in. It shouldn't be hard. I mean, that's fair. See, like, it works out because then because I get to hang out with y'all, and then in return y'all hang out with me and you help me, and I'm secretly I'm getting y'all to play Warframe with me all the time, so that way I always have a squad when I need to go do relic runs. That's my secret plan, my master plan. I dropped that down there. Boop. So this is where the entrance is. Let me just kind of climb up, climb up, climb up, climb up, climb up, climb up. Ta-da! I do want to kind of like make this a little more. We could fill out a lot here and just make it like just nicer in general. I bet you what we can do here. We can put these stairs I've been making. Ooh, God, hold on. I just saw something pop up on my Amazon A to Z. Now, Mana, are you ready to pay the pink tax of getting broads and stuff? It's gonna be fun. Wait, I don't like how far these are. I can deal with it. What we'll do is we'll put you here. I need to keep this entrance open. So I'm thinking I'll do is I'll clear this out. Kind of start. I'm trying to cook, chat. need to keep this part open. So, what I'm gonna do is... I have a question. Is it going to be a VTuber? I think it depends on why you want to be a VTuber. If you... It depends on what you want, I would say. What you want to get out of it, right? So what I mean by that is everyone becomes VTubers for different reasons. And depending on those reasons depends on like how hard it is to achieve what you want to achieve as a VTuber, right? I like being a VTuber. One, for me, it wasn't that hard because one, I was already like a streamer. Like I already kind of got used to the song and dance and performing, right? And I had rigged my own model. I had a friend help me with parts of it, but I had done my rigging, right? So for me, it was a little hard just because of that alone, like me doing my own rigging and stuff. So, but the rest of it, like having the setup, having like making the overlay stuff, for me, that stuff isn't as hard. That is something I'm capable of. So for me, it wasn't hard to become a VTuber. But for others who might not have that luxury that I had, they gotta like, pay for someone to do their model. They have to pay for someone to rig the model. They have to like get like the tracking software if they're gonna use like tracking like what I have. I feel like the more you want, it's gonna be harder. But if you're already going in with certain skills, it's gonna be a lot easier. Like a lot of VTubers, there's a lot of creators out there who have been in other areas of life that they are able to apply to their creative medium. Like there's a reason why you see a lot of theater nerds as VTubers. You know what I mean? So personally, I think it just depends on what you're trying to achieve as a VTuber. What you want to go for, what you aim for. For me, it was hard in some areas, a lot easier in others. Performing, easy. Setting up like the overlay and stuff, I've made my own overlays before. I've done it hundreds of times. Rigging a model from scratch, and on top of that, I was working with someone who's never done models before, so we're both learning like how to do this. That was hard. Oh, I almost fell into the water. To get those blocks. Oh, what the fuck? Oh, you're just a fish. I don't know why the fuck you scared me. What are you? Oh, it's still raining. Oh god, I was theater kid and yeeted that out of my mind. But am I wrong though? See, I knew. I knew. I'm in your head. I'm not actually in your head. I'm in your head. My mask has been yeeted. Also, aren't you afraid of underwater stuff also? Okay, so I have a particular fear. It's not necessarily that I'm afraid of underwater stuff. There's like certain things that have to happen for my fear to get set off. Does that make sense? God, you just reminded me though. I gotta wait like 2 weeks so that way I can start yapping to y'all about the FNAF 2 movie because I went to go see it and there's a lot I want to say about it, but I don't want to like spoil it. So I'm gonna wait patiently till for like 2 weeks, and then I'll start yapping about it. I'll put another one right here. There we go. And we can put right here light. Although we could probably move this over. Self-care mode? Okay, let me stretch. Thank you for the self-care check. Just want to have fun, so all my designs, creativity, whereas Minecraft or other games. Yeah, that makes sense. You have a lot of creative freedom as a VTuber, I will say that. That's the really, really nice thing about being in this medium. It's one of my personal favorite things about being in this medium. And, like, you don't even have to stay the same thing. Like, let's say you're like, oh, hey, I don't want to be this design, this creature, this thing you have made. Make sure it gets that. Okay, let me grab pizza roll. Ow. But, yeah, you can, like, basically change things around if you're not happy. And there are people who do that. There are folks out there who, like, who, won't be happy for whatever reason, and they'll change it. And that's another nice thing about the medium, is it gives you, like, that freedom to do stuff like that. I made this whole setup for nothing, because I'm just changing it around. I do not like any of this that I just created. Put it back. Oh, wait, yeah, there we go. Boop. Yeah, thanks, man. Not blocks. Eh. Need to make a better way to get up here that isn't wiggling through a hole like that. Oh, I kind of find it funny. I feel like it fits. There you go. Now I've got a nice little path. That brings me down here. See, we're cooking. We're slowly making this mine livable. We need to make a storage room. I'm gonna make that room over there a storage room. This one right here, I want to make this a storage room. And I have an idea on how I want to do it. That'll be in future kids' plan. Future YouTubers is mine and my partner, so yeah. Oh, I hope it goes well for y'all. You want to know something really funny? Like, not funny in like a haha way, but in a nice story way. I originally became a VTuber. Or no, I originally became a streamer because there was a guy I liked. And this guy was like, had told me he wanted to become a streamer. But he was kind of like, he wasn't very good at talking to folks, right? So I was like, oh, I'll stream with you. So that way you have someone to talk to, right? But I started really liking streaming. I enjoyed, like, the people I met. The people that would come by. I just kind of, I was just having a lot of fun, right? And it's funny because he doesn't stream anymore, but he does help me behind the scenes with my streaming stuff. And it's interesting because, like, he's the one who, like, did all the research on, like, how to be successful as a streamer and this and that, right? Like, he put in a lot of effort into this plan, this idea. And then I'm the one who becomes the streamer. I'm the one who just kind of, like, threw ideas at the wall, and now here I am. But he said it makes him happy, seeing like how I do, and that's what makes me happy. Because it's like he likes seeing me succeed, and I will continue to do so for him, and for all the other people who like seeing me succeed. Like chat. Point at chat. Like these nerds. Wait, hold on, I messed up here. I'm really glad I found my passion with creating stuff, though, because I found it because of that partner. You know what I mean? They are the reason that I found this passion. And it was simply because, mind you, we weren't even together at that point. We were not a couple yet. I just didn't I liked him a lot, and I didn't know, like, how to tell him I liked him. So this was, like, my solution was, like, oh, I want to spend more time with him and stuff. And it was funny because I do distinctly remember. I distinctly remember. I can talk. Distinctly remember a guy. He was my first ever viewer, right? First ever viewer, brand new to how I run things here, right? And this viewer shows up, and they're like, "Oh, hey, can I write a fan fiction about you and the other person you're streaming with?" And I thought that was like I was like, that's actually hilarious. What? Because it was just like such a like wild thing to hear, that to have someone like want to do. And I was like, you know what? Sure, go nuts, have fun. And I sat there and I read it on stream. Like it wasn't like a lot. It was just like kind of goofy. But like I remember that still, and how like that was like kind of like one of the reasons why I stuck with streaming, was because I would meet people like that. And it's funny, because I never would have discovered all of this if it weren't for me liking a guy and not knowing how to tell him I liked him. So I did stuff like that. I think the update just launched. Ooh, I should probably have it downloaded in the background then, shouldn't I? Here, let me load up Warframe in the background so I can update it. My launch is being a little finicky at the moment. I wouldn't be surprised if everyone's was being finicky. I'm trying to make this livable. I need to fix that hole. I'm gonna restart my PC and did that fix it? I'll log into Twitch for my phone though. Okay. I like how I can see all my friends is now playing Warframe. Is now playing War. I know they're all getting on right now to download the update. I know exactly that's what they're doing right now. Update failed. Please try again. It might be because so many people are trying to get the update. We broke it. Okay, so I'm gonna start carving this area out. Because this is where I'm gonna start putting my chests. So I was talking to myself in my head of how I'm gonna do this. Okay, there we go. Now it's updating. What the fuck is that in the launcher? Why is that so big? Well, this could be a fun update. Fun Warframe update. Oop. My copper pickaxe broke. Crying. Okay. Wouldn't be surprised why I would have thought they'd known this sort of thing happening. To be fair, Warframe also suddenly got super popular super fast. Like, recently. Like, it had another, resurgence. Crying, pissing, and shitting. If I had more time, I probably would stream the update. However, I'm EP, and we're not EP. However, I must sleep soon. I have work. Sleepy Echo. This is true. Sleepy disease got his hands in me, chat. Sleepy disease got its hands. I like how this looks. I like how this is turning out. Put this here. There we go. Now I need to start making my chests. I forgot I can't get those ones top. Okay. Boop. Now I'm gonna put in here some of the goodies I've acquired. Just so they're safe. So I'm not carrying so much. I do need to clear all this out. Boop. And then... See, I like doing stuff like this where I find like mine shafts or like cave structures and I just kind of go through and start changing how they look. I like doing that. That makes me happy. I don't know why it does. It just does. so happy to see you too. I'm playing Minecraft. I've been remasked. And you just took the mask off? Okay. Mine today so we can craft later? Yes. I'm playing on my friend's comfy modded. I wanted to. I want to steal it, bruh. Why are you robbing me? What did I do to deserve this? Was this cap server? Yes. This used to be the horror, the modded horror one, but since it's, you know, no longer October, it's been changed. Playing Fortnite, I've never been drinking. It's funny. I forgot to drink. Give me a second. You reminded me. You reminded me. I meant to take a shot of my THC drink so I could have to sleep. I want to join it, but I haven't had time. Okay. I'm sure. I'm sure. Sure. Um. I am sure, sir. Whatever. You know what I'm trying to say. That Cafe doesn't mind you taking your time. That's what I was trying to go for. Oh, well, you're welcome, I guess. Sometimes it helps you sleep. I'm not sure. How am I supposed to share this with you? Tell me, how am I supposed to do that? You just do it. Well, you want me to regurgitate it into your mouth like a baby bird? Wait, now that I think about it, you might be into that. Do it. Point at 4. I like how right when I say whore is when the cat comes into my room and starts rubbing up against my leg. No, not into it. That stream delay got you so bad. Baby, I swear, I feel you licking my leg. If you bite me, you're going to have words. Hi, Vivi. Y'all can't see it. She's looking at me with her big old eyes. Her eyes are, like, dilated. Like, she's... She did not bite me. She's like, accidentally clawed me. It's not her fault. Was it Vivi? No, chat, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go give this cat to her owner and inform them of her mischief. Isn't that right, Vivi? Isn't that right? You need a little mischief. You need a little mischief. Come here. Come here, you mischievous little kitty. Here. I got you, I got you. Come on. Be back, chat. Okay, chat, I'm back. She's waiting for the moment to attack, yes, but now she is, on. Shoot! Ah, I sneeze. Um. Oh, my nose. Now she's in one of the other rooms in a comfy bed. Because she wants me to pet her and she wants like a bunch of attention, but she does this thing where she wants to be pet, but then she also like will so she'll rub up against you and bite at you to get pets. After a while, she'll also bite at you for petting her. And it's like mildly confusing because it's like, man, what do you want? Like, are you overstimmed? Like, please explain. Alas, I cannot speak cat, but she'll never be able to explain it to me. But at least she's comfy now. I just went and put her on, like, there was one of the beds in the house, like, really big, and she, like, laying on it. And I put her on it, and then, like, at first she, like, looked like she wanted to complain, but then she started, like, making biscuits, like, wait, this is kind of nice. And I was like, yeah. I was like, yeah, I knew you'd think that's nice. You dork. Then I went back to my room. There you go. Bright lights. Ah, I see. I see what Gage wants. I can't. Mew, mew, meow, mew, mew. Not Magnus pulling the cat moment. Alright, Gage, here. Let me do something real quick. Let me change the settings on my mic. Just for you. If I can load it up. There it goes. Okay. Let me turn off. What do I even have on that's making it? Oh, it's that. Alright. Let me see this. I'm hoping this comes through. Here you go, Gage. I can't wait for chat to be like, what the fuck was that? You want to move these over there. Give me you. Where are you? Sure. Put you. I ignore that is what that was. There. We'll put you here, and then I'm gonna make. Actually, no. Hold on. Where'd it go? Did it fall? Oh, there you go. I got it. Okay. Excuse me? Oh, it's in my hand. There we go. There you go. And then... I can work with this. It was a daily serotonin boost. Yes, it is. It is very much your daily serotonin boost. I like to have a kid, but I can't because of the allergy. Oh boy, I'm so sorry. I technically shouldn't have pets because I'm technically allergic. However, I'm stubborn and I don't listen to my own allergy. Don't do what I do. I'm just do as I say, not as I do. Let me. I feel like I did not put these in the right spots. There we go. There's an image in my brain of how I want this to look. I'll put you there. I am gonna move you. And you. Now that I got both of you, I'm going to finish putting stairs here. Now we have a pathway. And I think I'm gonna make this something. You will cook. I think. No, we'll just put you here for now. There you have asthma. Now I don't. Your body's just your body literally is just like, oh, we have an allergy? Not anymore. Watch this. And I want to put 2 blast furnaces. We're gonna put 1 more copper. Ooh, look at that. How that looks. I like it a lot. This is cooking. Look, we're making it livable, Chad. Isn't it nice? Okay, we need to make more chests. So I just apparently have a chance to just like change every 7 or so years. I wonder why that's got I wonder if that's why I got my weird allergy. Huh. The more you know. Already so many seagulls in this cave. We're right by the beach. You forgot that part. You look. Big ol' open area. It's a stone beach. I was gonna do something, I can't remember. Oh, another pickaxe. And then we're gonna take this and put it up there. Boop. What are you gonna do at Christmas, New Year's? I'm not sure yet. I was probably just gonna. I know that I'm not working Christmas. I know, and I'm pretty sure I'm not working New Year's. So I'll probably spend Christmas just hanging out with Chad, doing something fun. Um, New Year's, I was thinking of doing something similar to bring in the New Year.
Mountain Dew.
Mountain Dew.
Mountain
Mountain Dew.
Mountain
Mountain Dew. Hello back. Okay. I know what I want this path to be. But I might not make these outward paths that. I might just make these just pure jungle plank. That might be the strat. Gaming in Fortnite, I suck ass. It's okay. Once you do something cracked, you're gonna feel like a god. Trust. There you go. The game only got second because my duel's game crashed. Oh no. Let's remove this one. I celebrate Christmas with my family, but I'll spend New Year in King's Reyes with my partner and my in-laws for the first time. I hope it goes well. It sounds like it'll be a pleasant time. Normally I do spend my holidays with my folks and stuff, but I've been working so much that I kind of want to like. I've always spent my holidays with other people. For once, I kind of want to spend the holiday by myself, but like not by myself, but like with you guys. I think with Chad, I think it'd be nice. I hope that makes sense. Makes sense in my brain. Okay. So we got a nice little setup we're building over here. We're getting these roads made. That's not what I wanted to put there. And it fell. Getting this nice little setup made. I do want to explore the rest of the cave. Just gotta make sure I can get back. I think what I'll do is I'll just... Oh, that's a huge vein. That's a huge vein. Let me take this. Making my way downtown. Even more copper. Let's go. I want all the copper. Why are you biting me, Vec? Why are you biting me, Vec? Oh, this looks... That looks insane down there. Hold on. We need to go check this out. Oh, this is insane. Oh, this is gonna be an insane area to live in. Because Chomp, of course you say that. I don't know why Benny has started calling y'all Nars. I did not put that in Benny. It just decided to start doing that on its own. There you go. God, this is gonna look so cool as a place to live in. Like, genuinely. Oh, that looks so cool. Adaptive learning. Is that what I think it is down there? This biome that I chose to chill in is actually insane. Like, look at how many things are close to each other. We have an ender portal over there, right? We got that already. Then not only do we have a jungle biome, which gives us a lot of wood. We have a giant cave, which gives us ores. A good few chunk. You saw the lava pools down there. Water, obviously. And two different rare biomes right by each other. This is like insane luck. I am very happy with where I'm starting. The diving board. You're Benny's bad influence. Honestly? Yeah. Okay, we're gonna go this way. Because I like to have friends play Minecraft Bedrock with. Oop. I like some of the things they have in Bedrock. They do get like some unique things that you don't have in like normal Java. What's looking? Something's looking at me. Oh, it's the it's the spawner. We should do something about that. Let me get a sword. Or find underground cherry blossom forest at this point. I would lose my mind if I did. I do like the current setup though. This is a very, very comfy setup. Oh, hold on, let me put my... Okay, let me go clear out that area. I'm convinced that the only reason Bedrock has things Java does is mitigate complaints for the stuff Java has that Bedrock's probably never gonna get. Honestly, I've always kind of felt like there was things they wanted to do in Java, but they just couldn't for some reason. Now they're shoving all those things into Bedrock. Because a lot of it is like quality of life thing. I don't know if that makes sense. I do enjoy playing both though. At the end, like, it's just I'm very used to playing Java, so I'm not used to. So some of the changes in Bedrock do like mess me up a little. Stop aggressively shaking. No, my original plan was to find out where everyone was living so then I could like go build cool stuff near them. But I don't know where they are. So we'll just chill over here. Okay, now cover you. There you go. Now you can't do anything. I don't know when they're gonna take the server off peaceful, and I'm scared for when it does. So at least the perks of this is I can make sure I don't get jumped in my new house. Oh, there's a nut. Oh my god, these two spawners right by each other? Oh, fuck that. That's why I'm doing this. So you can't get me. I got tofu. And seeds! I can grow things. There you go. Okay. I have a lot of coal. I don't think I need more. It is gonna be kind of, like, interesting. Try to figure out how I'm gonna carve this whole area out, how I want it to look. I have ideas. I just don't know if I'm gonna do those ideas. Because we did carve this area out where it's like actually like somewhere I can go. We're getting the weathering that I wanted. Clear this out. I can actually like make this uniform. Boop. I'll probably extend this to keep injuries from happening. I'll leave that there. Oh wait. There we go. And then I'm gonna put one right here. There you go. That looks like a proper rail. I felt like it was the other way around also. Like they weren't allowed or discouraged from doing certain things Java because it would be a pain to implement all the other versions. But Java has the ease of modding, so they give people a few things in Bedrock that aren't in Java. So a feature banned by Mars, Java not much time investment, making it kind of unbelievable and Mojang is very incapable of adding parity updates to Java. What I find interesting as well, like when you bringing that up reminds me, if I remember correctly, didn't Minecraft recently release like not all like not not their source code, but the stuff that modders would need effectively to mod? Do you know? Do you remember? Do you know what I'm talking about? Because you saying that reminded me of that being a recent thing. Why can't I get the zinc ore? I was able to get the tin one. You in here? You in here, you in here. I'll put the tofu and apples in there and bread since I'm not really eating it. I don't okay, hold on. Let me go look it up. I don't wanna like say stuff and not be correct. It was like okay, I found it. So basically, they're getting rid of code obfuscation from Java Edition. Yeah, they haven't done it yet, but I find it interesting that they'll do that for Java. Yeah, you woke up just in time. We're talking about Java. So I got my Warframe to finish updating, so now it's ready for me to do the update. Or not the yeah, the new thing going on in it. I love warming up frames. I mean, modders are basically Java's lifeblood. Don't get me wrong, Minecraft will still be popular without mods. Mods, I feel, make it that much more popular. I feel like mods are the reason why Minecraft has stayed at relevant as long as it has. Because I feel like a lot of the mods, and in turn the people who do modding, basically kind of cause those 2-week Minecraft cycles to start. Slash, they constantly breathe life back into the game by bringing in new things every single time. Like, look at the recent rise in Minecraft horror mods. Now, I'm not saying they're good, obviously. But I'm saying, look at how fast the trend of horror Minecraft took off. Especially horror Minecraft mods. A lot of them were very similar to each other. People didn't care. There was a good chunk of people out there who didn't care. They just wanted to play it. Hmm. There we go. Yeah, we could turn this room into something. But it wouldn't be hard to just break this open. I'm not allowed to play Minecraft sometimes. What do you mean? The concept of you can add anything into this game if you just give enough effort. Honestly, yeah. The amount of shit I see people add into Minecraft, it fucks me up. Like, in a good way. Innovation is a hell of a drug. Coffee, why did you make a hotel out of TNT? Yeah, like without mods, it would have gained popularity and then faded a bit to a more niche but still known-like game. Mods in the update cycle are what keeps bringing people back and new people in. Oh, 100%. Made server mad because I tried to implement a button door. A guy walked in when I wasn't on. I just like the colors. It blew up, to say the least. It was kind of funny. I saw someone trying to mod Monster Hunter the game and even functional mechs. Oh yeah, I saw something recently of like someone modding like mech fights into Minecraft, and I was like, what the hell am I looking at? I want to see what the tin cooks into. Also, Jesus, it is cold where I am. This also make amethyst us and the constant noise would annoy others. I don't think I've ever done anything like that. I need to clear this. I just wanted purple floors. Humans are insane sometimes. I think that's what I like about them, though sometimes one of their best and worst qualities. I definitely have a few screws loose, but it's okay. I'm able to lock in with it. Not the tanks, bro. I'm trying to think if we were about TNT things I didn't realize are explosive with activation, and I realized that it's plenty. I remember way back when, before there was a seizure warning on Russ, me and Gage were trying to keep our house from getting raided, and in the server we were in, you could, like, spawn, like, these Christmas lights that you could put on your base, but there wasn't a limit to how many Christmas lights you could get. So, I may have gone a little crazy, and got a bunch of it, and what I did was I built a shell around my base. Then I put a bunch of Christmas lights inside between where the shell was and the actual base. And when I did that, I was playing on my laptop that didn't have the best specs, right? So it didn't really affect me because it wasn't doing its twinkling and flickering and stuff on my end because it wasn't set to do that. However, on everyone else's end, you wanna know what happened, chat? People's computers would crash if they tried to break into my base. They had to render all of those twinkling lights. And then, like, we stopped playing Rust for a little bit, and then I got back into Rust, and I saw the seizure warning. I'm like, oh, I hope to God I have nothing to do with that. I hope I have nothing to do with that. Oh yeah, I didn't realize how effective it was. I just did it for the funny. Hey, it worked out. And that's what matters. I think I'm gonna build something here. I need to get my hands on glass. Ooh, zinc. You're going to need a better pickaxe. Oh, it's just a zinc on the other side. That's what it is. I love making a base as a blight on the landscape. It sears everyone's eyes. Hey, if it keeps them away from your base. Yeah, I'm thinking. I feel like I like how this originally didn't have a lot, and then we came here and we did a lot. We do need to make this more obvious. Is he gonna jump? Did I come out here to a mammoth's attempted suicide? What is happening? Chat, what the fuck? How do I react to that? How do I react to that, Chad? Do we help him? Can we even help him? Since I found myself in quite a predicament. The mammoth probably eat it. I can't eat that. Bro, look how big it is compared to me. That's a dot dot dot, I don't know. You know, we're just gonna pretend we're just, you know, if he needs space, who am I to get in his way? Oh, I fell. Oop. Hold on. Me. I do wanna eat this. Oh, there's another one, like, right here. Oh, boy. We're turning this cave into a home. Ignore all the lamp. Or the lights. Aha. Oh, fuck. If I type less, I have a cat on my lap demanding I pay his voidly fur. Oh yeah, that was Vivian earlier. No, that was Vivian earlier. I can see it. Yeet. The path up there. Probably. Maybe do something with this, or I might just close it up. I gotta think. We probably could make something with that if I tried hard enough. I do want to move this down, maybe. Or maybe keep it up. I gotta figure that part out. I'm thinking, chat. But also, it's about to hit 3 hours, and it's 10 a.m. for me. So I need to sleep anyway. Let me switch back over. Hi, chat. I had fun playing it for a little bit today. I had fun. Today was fun. We had fun. I am currently going to find someone for us to raid. And then, tomorrow will be Warframe Day. It'll be really fun. Let me find someone for us to raid. I have a few friends who are streaming right now. How about we say hello to... Oh god, there's so many people in Warframe right now. Everyone and their mom is on it right now. You like the holiday bits? Yay, I'm glad. Let's go say hi to the Umbrella Clip, shall we? If you don't know who that is, I'm loading Umbrel's thing. Or Penumbra's thing. So, they are Penumbra. They are a shape-shifting primordial darkness from the deepest reaches of space. Really cool. And they're currently playing Elden Ring. So, we'll go say hi to them while they play Elden Ring. How's that sound, chat? I'm feeling a lot better. I should be able to stream when I get home. Theoretically, I should be able to. So, I'll be home. I will play a video game. It'll be a good time. Okay. Alright. Let me... There you go. Excitement. Alright, take care of yourselves. Bye!